Greetings, humanoids of the internets! My name is Bob, and this is episode number 137? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? I thought for sure I was going to get this without... Episode number 137 of Journey into Space! Now, I realize that our last journey into space, which was some time ago, we were starting on to create a passenger rocket, but that model is probably no longer around anywhere. Let me make sure. I'll just take a look and see. Not that it matters ultimately. Yeah, that model probably died in my computer crash. So we're going to just start off on something new. The idea for this one is we're going to make a grand tour spacecraft, something that is capable of going to a moon, refueling, and then going somewhere else. And it's going to be a one-man spacecraft, a one-person spacecraft. That person is Dudefield Kerbin. Dudefield, yes, Dudefield man. He is sick of all the social activity on Kerbin. He wants to take off for the outer solar system and explore the universe. This is again a one-man spacecraft, and the idea is to make a grand tour capable spacecraft that is as small as possible. Now, this is not going to be able to land on most planets. It's not going to be able to land on Duna or Eve, obviously. But it should be able to land on the moons of said planets, like Ike, and should be able to land on the minor planet Dres, although that will be iffy. We're going to try it anyway, and we're going to go from there to the moons of Jewel, Bop, and Paul. The small moons of Jewel, I should say. Bop and Paul. Elo is probably a little bit too big for this to safely land. I mean, it's not really designed for that. So that's that, and so we're going to go do that. Yes, this somewhat. Well, first of all, I should say what we're using for in situ resource utilization is the Karbonite mod. During a long period of time when Kethane was not updated, I think it is updated now. But during a long period of time when Kethane was not updated, I tried out Karbonite. I like it, so we're going to use it. That's what we have. We have a Karbonite converter right there, and we have a Karbonite drill miner right there. Karbonite tanks here and here, and yeah. And I don't have a Karbonite detector on this yet. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I have a Karbonite detector right here, and MapSat right here, which helps with mapping the Karbonite deposits. So, and these are set in a balanced manner. Let's take a look at the center of mass. Not dead on, perhaps, but very close. And so, what basically we're going to start off with setting this thing to Minmus and testing out all the refueling capabilities of it first, and then we will move on from there. And this does actually have a return capsule. The parachute is actually part of this decoupler right here. Also, there is a rover of sorts up here. It's a flying rover, a spider-style flying rover for those who remember my Minmus spiders. It uses normal rocket fuel instead of monopropellant because in Karbonite the converters are separate for liquid and fuel and oxygen and for monopropellant. So I would have to add another half ton of weight in order to be able to make monopropellant. So there is no monopropellant here, and the spider runs on liquid fuel. But before we get too far along here, we need to make sure my action groups are all set up, because they have to be in order for this to work at all. So let's go ahead and do a quick launch. Okay, here we are. This thing will actually only take off under Kerbin gravity if most of its fuel is gone and if the emergency engines are on. The spider will actually fly pretty well in Kerbin gravity, but not the ship itself that well unless you have the fuel tanks almost empty. Let's see. Yes, I was wondering about that. That is intact. But we still have to test this on Minmus to see how the keythane mining works out. Let's go and test the first action group. That indeed does work. We'll lower the thrust. Action group 2. That works. 3. Those work. Action group 4. Fortunately, does not reach the ground. That's unfortunate. I may have to redo that one. Is there an action group 5? I forget. Yeah, that's those things. Okay. Alright, well, we need to reconfigure the drill in such a way as it reaches the ground. That may set off my balance slightly. We'll see. Okay, we have to go through the entire test sequence again because sometimes the action groups get unset for mysterious reasons. Okay, action group 1 works. Aren't you looking forward to this dude field? And throttle down, minimum. That works. Throttle up a bit so I can see it. That works. Okay, we're going to assume that works. There's no reason why the map sat would not work. Since that wasn't attached to this pylon, that just was left up there, I'm going to go ahead and move that to the center there for the sake of neatness. Neatness counts. See what else. That was it. That works. Okay. One more test. We have to get Dude Phil out of the capsule to make sure this thing isn't blocking his way. Nope, he is perfectly clear. Alright, a little bit of tidying up and we'll be ready to send this guy to Minmus. Excuse me. Here we are in orbit above Minmus. You may be asking yourself, what happened to the launch? There was no launch. That's correct. Because since launching something this size is really sort of a trivial exercise, I dispensed with it and used HyperEdit to get it into orbit around Minmus. The launch part is not really what we're all about right here. The launch part is superfluous to our needs. What we're trying to do is to prove whether this thing can become a Grand Tour type spacecraft, at least as far as concerns small bodies like moons and Dres and so forth. Let's go ahead and start our Karbonite scan and start multispectral scan. And we should already have this scanned. I have a satellite already in orbit around here to scan all necessary parts. This is the ScanSat mod. And for Karbonite, all the desirable bits are in highland areas. So we're coming up on a highland here. That might be about as good as we can get. Yeah, that would be that over there, I'm guessing. However, I'm about to have dinner, so we will pause this for the moment, and I will return when I am done having din-dins. Yes. Okay, I had my din-dins. Lovely lasagna. Stouffer's... Oh, I shouldn't say the brand name, I guess. Lovely frozen lasagna is what it was. Lovely frozen lasagna. And now we're landing on the lovely frozen planet of Minmus. We can give it a little more thrust. Okay, we need to test the kethane gathering capabilities of this vehicle. Make sure every part of that system works properly. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we should be okay. Oh, I'm looking the wrong way. I don't know if that's okay or not. Okay, we're heading to the big plateau over here, so hopefully all should be well. One problem I've noticed with this is that since this has an SAS as well as the ship, the same kind of SAS even, that this tends to wobble whenever I use the SAS. Probably not a big problem, just something to be aware of. Okay. Go ahead and zoom in just a bit. Actually, let's F5 right quick, just in case. Not that landing on Minmus is a big deal, because it ain't. Ain't no thing. Okay. Actually, that is a potentially problematic landing zone. Let's move this down here. Okay. SAS turn off, please. Oh, I'm time warped. That's why. I've actually got to pick my feet up a little bit. Yep, top hat. Okay, we're just gonna go in, go for it, see how it goes. $12,000 meters. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more. And I'm still going at a pretty good horizontal clip here. I need to be aware of that. Okay, I'm not yet over a kethane rich area. Try that. Not kethane, I'm sorry. Not kethane, carbonite. Not over a carbonite rich area. Okay, it's about time to go ahead and start breaking horizontal motion because we're pretty close to the ground here. Okay, well, braking works well for bodies like Minmus. On Ike and especially on Drez, my mileage may vary. Okay, I'm over a kethane region now, so it is okay if I go ahead and kill off the rest of the horizontal motion at my leisure. Okay, that does nothing. Lights on. We'll go ahead and allow for a little bit of horizontal motion for right now, just to make sure we don't drift back out of the carbonite zone. And we just drift down. You'd think I would be at 5,000 meters, considering the height of this hill. You'd think I would be already getting pretty close to the ground, but it doesn't appear. Still have a little ways to go. Just keep the motor warm. Okay, I should be in a carbonite hotspot. To get too fast because I'm got these nuclear engines to use. Well, I got the emergency backup engines, but I don't want to use those. But it may take me a minute to get to the ground. All right, I got a shadow. And again, I have to land this very gently because the little Kerbal is right there, and that thing will pop like a zit if this comes down too heavy. Come on, landing legs don't snap. All right. Landed. Pop an F5 right quick. All right, dude, pop out and and put a flag in. If this thing has stopped moving. Has it? Yes. EVA. Okay, good job. Okay, we come in peace for all Kerbal kind. All Kerbal kind. We came to get away from people. And so we went to space. Turn the lights on. Go ahead and turn around here. Big old Navy salute. There we go. Whoa. Ooh. Okay. This is the Dodd Labs flag. It's one of the flags I've been working on. I used to make paper airplanes when I was very, very bored. And so I had, they were all from a mythical aerospace laboratory called Dodd Labs, which also made various other inventions for warfare that probably weren't humane or anything. So that's where the idea of Dodd Labs comes from. That's now they're launching Kerbals into space, which probably isn't humane either. Okay. Go ahead and get you back in the capsule there, bud. Now we need to get some keythane going. Make sure that our keythane apparatus is working properly. I suppose you want to grab onto that, huh? There you go. Get you in there. And now we must make sure that our keythane apparatus is working properly and that I have the right button set up. Actually, I have the right button set up. It's just a matter of whether I remember what those buttons are. Extract carbonite. Okay, we can turn our lights off. Let's set up our HUDs. Not that it matters. I'm not going to be flying from in here, but just for grins. Where's our camera? Oh, that's map's hat. External camera 1 doesn't show me much. It's just pointing straight down at the ground. All our resources. So to make sure our resources are intact. Yes. Even though I won't be flying it from in here, you know, I just want to have everything set up to be cool. Okay. Well, obviously, extracting carbonite is a time-consuming activity, and we'll speed it up a little bit. The drill apparently works fine. No problems with that. I'm going to turn on the converter, which may use up my electricity a lot. No, it's electricity is staying stable. Okay. Fuel tanks are filled, so I can... That's alright. It turns off. It turns itself off. That's very, very nice. Go ahead and fill up the carbonite tanks. Oh, I do have, but this these things must have monopropellant on them, or this thing must. Yeah, that thing has a little bit of monopropellant. I could have put RCS thrusters on it, but you know, I don't really think I really need to. I got 2 SAS modules on this thing. I could test this thing if I were so inclined. I probably should test it before I leave Minmus. It's a good question whether I'm going to do that this episode or the next one. I think I'll do that next one. We've done enough right now. The weird green glow on his face is amusing. Okay, let's fill up the carbonite tanks. Okay, thank you. Stop carbonite extraction and retract the drill. Okay, I should have full carbonite tanks. Full fuel tanks. Beautiful. Okay. Well, next time we will test out the spider, make sure that it's working optimally. Then we will refuel the spider's tanks, top off our kethane, and next stop will be Duna, or to be more precise, it will be Ike, because we're heading off to Ike to refuel on our way onward to the outer solar system. Then after Ike, we'll probably stop off at Dres, and from Dres to the moons of Jewel, Bop and Paul. Alrighty. Well, that's all for this time, and until next time... Oh, screenshot, hold on. Until next time, hasta la vista. Adios! Okay, I have a bit of a problem, which is my spacecraft disappears. I have no idea why. I mean, it's not a big deal. I got a quick save. Let's go ahead and hit quick save now. But still, why would my spacecraft just disappear? That makes no sense. Let's turn our SAS off, let it settle a minute. Why would my spacecraft disappear? Well, presumably it won't disappear as long as dude field is inside of it, I guess. I mean, it's just not going to vaporize dude field for no reason, right? It totally did. It wiped out the ship and dude field. What the fuck? Yeah, they're gone. What the fuck? Okay, kind of haunted there. Not sure what's up with that. Let me do a little research. Okay, I do not know what causes that issue. I have no idea. What I'm going to do is actually take off from the surface here. I did test the flying rover a bit on Minmus. I didn't test redocking it, but I think that should be possible. We're just going to go ahead and just take off and get back into space. And kind of work on that issue when we're not right here in zombie zone, whatever this is. Yes, I've had this happen before. It has only happened on surfaces, not in orbit. So, at least temporarily, a solution to the problem is get back into orbit. have things jiggling. Get into orbit and hope that whatever happened there was some kind of freakish attribute of the topology rather than an inherent failure of the spacecraft. Because if it's an inherent failure of the spacecraft, I got a problem. It's possible that this, because I'm using a mod command pod here, could be some kind of problem with that. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Obviously, it's more likely to happen with mod parts, this sort of thing. But I mean, this sort of thing being abnormalities in general. But then being restricted to only stock parts is kind of sucky. I mean, to some degree, in order for the mission to work at all, I have to have at least one mod, which is Karbonite. So I don't know. I don't know why this would be happening. Why is this happening? In any case, we've achieved our primary objective, which is to grab some Karbonite, land on the surface, or actually first land on the surface, then grab some Karbonite, and take off again. So there's that. I did not get to test redocking the spider to the vehicle. We'll have to do that later on. It could be one of the millions of mods I have that's causing the problem. It's really hard to say. One thing I suppose I could do is create different versions of these and see if the other versions have this problem. That we would be able to narrow down what mods might be responsible, if there is a mod responsible, which it probably is. That'll be something I probably would do off camera. Yeah, because obviously there's a problem here. We don't want to have a spacecraft going off to the planet that's prone to disappear for no apparent reason. So probably what I will do next step is create a version of this with the minimum possible number of mod parts that was consistent with still achieving all my mission parameters. And we'll go from there, perhaps. Yes. Well, not perhaps. We will certainly go from there, but I don't know what may be involved in that. Yes. There's my little Karbonite satellite. Okay, well that's all for right now. And next time what we're going to do is we're going to send up a couple different versions of this, see if the problem recurs with the other versions. If I have a version that it doesn't recur with, that'll one, tell me what mod parts may be the problem, and two, we can move forward with the series. Yes. Okay. Goodbye. Okay, just verifying that the Demoiselle 2, that name, the Demoiselle 2, is based on an early airplane by Albert Santos Dumont. a relatively unheralded, at least in this country, pioneer of flight. That's what the ship is named for, but we may wind up having a Demoiselle 3, 4, and 5 in order to get one that doesn't evaporate on the surface of a moon. Okay. Totally and completely unrelated to anything else what we're doing, but I had some advice from a viewer who told me that with these seaplanes that you can adjust the buoyancy, which I did not know, which is probably why my flying ships turned into submarines. So I upped the buoyancy on some of my pods here. We're just going to give this a quick shot, see what happens. Go ahead and hit the brakes a little bit. Don't want to get going too fast. Why do you have an orbit on? Don't need that. I did not take a suggestion of putting on air brakes. I did just not. I was just sort of briefly checking to see whether the added buoyancy does any good. If I decide to pursue this at some future point, I will certainly put some air brakes on, because that sounds like a good idea. Don't go too fast there, bud. Slow down. Okay, now we shall see if we can take off. We're not going immediately nose down into the surface of the sea. That's always a good sign. It's kind of bobbing rather strangely. Come on, pick up. Go ahead and pull my gear in. Make it move more streamlined, or not. Well, we got a really fast boat now. Nope, it didn't help. Actually, it helped a little bit, but it did not solve the problem in the long run. Revert spaceplane hangar. Yeah. Well, I may play with that idea some further on my own time. But anyway, that's all.